what do you think about this? St. Louis being the capital city of soccer in the U.S.
I love it. I love it. It is.
There is an idiot pundit that has some followers, and I got into an argument, not a little bit of an argument with him on Twitter. Not an argument really, because it was more than it's just two replies. But he said,
"I'll take it."
He said something along the lines of, "So St. Louis is the soccer city of the world now. I mean, of the U.S. now," and he put the question as of who the F said this and that, and he obviously said no disrespect to St. Louis. But when you ask who the F, that you're putting a little bit of disrespect behind your question. You know, like if the players say that, if the coaches say that, who are you to say that it's not? It might not be, but nobody has the truth here. We can give our opinion on what we think, but if you give facts, historic facts, from the 50s, from the 70s, right now, the list of players from the U.S. are, I mean, you got Riem playing in England that's from St. Louis. You got the goalkeeper, Turner, from St. Louis. You got a few, and I mean, just a few, but it is kind of hard saying that because, I mean, soccer is a fairly new sport in the U.S., but they're stating some facts. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy. However, I just get crazy with the fact that somebody can say, who the F are these people to say? Now, who the F are you to just
Are you ready?
Question the truth?
Cast your mind back.
Okay.
It's 1950. We are in the Stadio Belo Horizonte in Brazil. It's England versus the USA in the 1950 World Cup. The most famous game in U.S. men's national team history. England, who wouldn't even go to the World Cup because they were like, it was beneath them. Go to the World Cup, and the USA beats them 1-0 in Brazil. World famous. Half of that team is born in St. Louis, Missouri. Half. Half. Okay? The other half is from Fall River, and there's a couple of guys from other places. But half of the team is from St. Louis. Famously, an immigrant city, lots of Italians. If you know the history of Yogi Berra, he talked about playing soccer in St. Louis, even though baseball was the other sport. So St. Louis has a great history of sport. It is the capital. Tyler Twellman is from St. Louis. His dad played soccer. He's also from St. Louis. Just a lot of St. Louis history comes from that part of town. I believe. What?
Sargent? Yeah, he's Josh Sargent.
Makes sense.
From St. Louis.
Yep. So I would agree. There's something going on in that town. There are soccer towns in the country that it's based on the immigrants.
But right? it's just that, right? Like, I mean, it could be just a logo slogan. Like, leave it alone. It doesn't have to be a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, just let people. Like, I don't understand, man. We as amateur pundits, we get here, we talk. And
amateur. I'm a professional.
Yeah, but you're right. But we can sit here and talk. We have better things to do, man, than just question what I can kill Berhalter for 10 hours straight, and just keep going instead of just picking a simple phrase. That maybe it gives us a little bit. Maybe U.S. soccer fans want to have a little bit of identity. Maybe a little bit of history that they can learn and identify with, instead of saying that we started playing soccer last year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because we're tired of hearing of Real Madrid's 120 million years of age, and also Manchester United and England and Wembley Stadium. So
the U.S. has a lot of soccer history, actually. The reason why we are a mess is because it's always been fractured. Right. We've had 3 different leaders. We've had 5 different leagues. We had all the ingredients for great football in this country. It was never centralized. They were competing leagues, if you can look through the history. We've had the U.S. Open Cup in the United States since 1920. We've had our FA Cup. It has been won by very famous local ethnic teams, most famously the Brooklyn Italians, which is the greatest soccer team name ever in the history of anything. But we had the same roots of football clubs that the rest of the world had. local men's teams. We had like Bethlehem Steel was a big club. We had Fall River Ironworks, a lot of things that sound similar to what happened in England, but the professionalism, the centralization that you had in baseball and the NFL, the NBA later just never happened. It was always fractured. Right. It was always local. It was always ethnic. So there was always a sort of like, this isn't American. And so our people sort of rejected it. We took baseball as our native sport. We took American football as our native sport. And those were the two pillars of that developmental era. And that's why we're the way we are. Yeah. And we're still fighting the same fights locally. How do you find players? How does a poor kid from the barrio in El Paso get to play at a showcase in St. Louis? We don't have a system to do that. It doesn't work. And so we have this national team that is very, very middle class. It doesn't have that hunger that working class kids have that other countries have, right? Where this is my way out. Right. Football is not the way out for anyone. American football and basketball are the way out, right? That's their narrative, right? That's why you see the Latino baseball players get out of the DR, you play baseball. Get out of Venezuela, you play baseball, right? So you need that financial motivation that American soccer just doesn't have. It's a middle-class suburban sport where in everywhere else in the world, it's an urban city sport, and it's not.
Yeah, no, that for top football news, debate, analysis, and opinion, join Top Football Club. Watch live on YouTube or on the Top FC News website or listen live on the AMP app and on your smart speaker. Top Football Club.